Colorado Avalanche extended their winning streak to 10 straight games last night, beating the Toronto Maple Leafs on home ice. Final 4-2. Jonathan Bernier made his first start at the ACC since Toronto traded him in July of 2016. He was booed. He made 29 saves to improve to 9-0-0 in his last 9 games. Things may have been different in most Leafs fans' mind after an Auston Matthews goal was reversed and he had that reaction to it for goaltender interference. It was midway through the second period. Babcock's reaction, pretty good. Matthews shocked. Babcock pissed. And the Leafs head coach was asked about the decision after the game.
I don't like that either. I got texts from half the coaches telling me it should be a goal. So the coaches don't know, we don't know. But I'm not worried about that. I just thought we played good enough, generated enough chances. They didn't generate that many chances. And so in the end, we should have won the game. We didn't.
Do you know what goalie interference is anymore?
No.
How frustrating is that?
No, guys, we didn't lose the game because of that goal, in my opinion. So we had lots of chances, we had lots of opportunity, and they scored and we didn't.
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
Whether or not half the coaches in the league text him, whether or not he really doesn't know what goaltender interference is. What did you think of the disallowed goals situation in Toronto?
Well, half the hosts in Canada texted me.
Oh, yeah?
We had it. No, that's not true. Oh. I just wanted to say it.
James Duthie?
Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he doesn't think I'm cool enough.
No.
Here's the point. Leaf fans are hilarious. Leaf fans are some of the funniest group of individuals I have ever seen in my life. Because if this happened 200 feet the other way and Landeskog was messing around with Frederik Andersen's blocker, Twitter would have screamed bloody murder. He's in there on his own. He hits the goalie. That's Rule 69, kids.
What?
You know what I mean, baby.
Rob Gronkowski's favorite rule.
That's Rule 69.
Mm-hmm.
Can't touch the goalie in the crease. And they're chintzy on it all the time. At least they're consistent with their chintziness.
Right.
And if that was the other way, you'd want to call. That was the correct call.
Right.
All of this pressure and criticism towards the referee. This is one of the rare moments. The review could have been shorter. That's my only criticism. That was the right call. Enough. For a second, step back and take off the Homer glasses. That was not a goal. Is it chintzy? Yes, but that's the way they've written the rule, and at least they called it chintzy in the past.
Right.
I was floored by that.
But that's any team, right? Like, you don't watch enough of other games, so you don't see that called everywhere else in the NHL.
Probably.
And when it finally happens to you, you're like, hey, that's not what the rule's supposed to be.
That was a classic that last
Right. They're going to change that rule eventually and try and set it up again so that we can be confused even more by it down the road. But don't you feel like that reaction that you saw on Twitter was just to take people's attention away from how bad the defense was right now?
Well, they're going to need 3 more of those to take attention away from the bad defense. It's bad, man.
Like, this is not.
It's bad.
Here's the deal. The Leafs are in this spot where they've lost Zaitsev. They've now lost Riley. If you add the two together, it's about 45 minutes per game. Yep. You're in a spot where Andreas Borgman is playing real minutes. You did not expect that to happen.
You don't want
Roman Polak is playing real minutes. You didn't want that to happen. It's funny to me, though, if you look back at how the Avs won 10 straight, and a lot of people are doing that, reminiscing right now because they do the old Ontario-Quebec stop where they go to the 2 hockey meccas, Toronto and Montreal, and they play games, and the media focuses in on how good these guys are. Did you notice how many goals per game they are scoring in their 10-game winning streak, Sydney? The Colorado Avalanche, while winning 10 straight, how many goals they're scoring?
I assume it's a good number.
Over 4 a
threes.
game.
4?
Over 4 a game that they are scoring.
Yeah.
And all I'm thinking is, I wonder if Babcock's insistence on playing the right way for the postseason isn't hurting the wins right now. There's the number there. There are the goals. There are the goals against. There is the time trailed. It's impressive. But the part of me for the Leafs is, why not unleash the hounds? If you're playing Borgman and Polak real minutes in a hockey game and missing the defense that you have, why the intense focus on defense? Why not unleash the hounds, let them go, and then when you get Zaitsev and Riley back, ho-hum, get them back focused on defense. But to me, it just seems like, I wonder if, and this is just a question, but I wonder if Babcock's insistence on the defense and winning the right way and all those things might not start to wear on the Leafs. Like, he got away with it with the best team ever, maybe, in the Canadian Olympic teams, right?
Yep.
Like, they all bought in. They all won golds.
Because they're there for 2 weeks.
Right.
Who's fighting him on anything?
But it's not 82 games of it, right? Before you play the games that actually matter.
And Nick Lidstrom's not walking through that door.
And I wonder, he did shuffle the lines, but to me that's just shuffling the deck, the deck chairs, just moving them around here. But I want to see if they actually unleash the hounds. You got 2 pretty good D-men out. Let them go. Like, let them go.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean,
or add on defense. Like, give them a fighting chance.
You could.
Like, Ron Hainsey is playing ridiculous minutes, and he's been really, really good, but it's a lot to ask of Ron Hainsey before you ever get to any games that mean something.
But like we said, like the one time Kipper was in studio and we talked about the Penguins model from a year ago defensively.
Yeah.
Spend $1 million.
I like Travis Dermott.
I have no
20
problems
minutes?
with any of them.
Yeah.
But like that
Sorry.
bargain herald's way of putting your defense together and winning a cup.
Your giant tiger way.
Your dollar store, as long as you got Crosby and Malkin up working the cash,
Yeah.
You're not going to have a profit.
Right.
Enough business references for dollar stores? Shout out dollar store.
I still know where Bargain Harold's was in the country. I think Giant Tiger is
I'm not sure.
pretty cross
It's
country.
a great reference. You know what it is, though? You're paying Mike Babcock more than anyone else. And you could argue Mike Babcock has the biggest ego of any head coach currently in the National Hockey League. Why not? Gold medals, Stanley Cups. I make more than everybody.
And they're already on a trajectory that is ridiculous. So he's ahead of schedule.
So in his mind, I'm just trying to figure out from his perspective. I can make these guys better.
Yeah.
Because that's why they brought me in on the private jet, McAuliffe.
Yeah, on the
right?
private
Remember
jet,
that?
McAuliffe.
The private jet.
Yeah.
You could see my flight pattern on the cell phones.
Yes.
Coming into Toronto, signing a deal. Maybe Buffalo. It was never Buffalo. Going to Toronto the entire time. He believes he can change those guys. Yeah. That's my only answer to that question. He thinks he can make Borgman real. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. But in the long term, Tim, if he can't, I'm with you. Get the horses out of the barn. Not the horses out of the barn.
Unleash the hounds!
I thought they were out of the barn already in the first 2 games of the season.
Speaking of private jet flying, limousine riding, what the hell was going on with Nick Kypreos yesterday at the game? Did you happen to see who Nick Kypreos was sitting beside at the game yesterday? Looking real nice in a suit, by the way.
Like at times when he's at Air Canada, he's working, so he's next to Darren Millard.
Yeah.
Which is awful.
Instead, he was sandwiched by Denis Shapovalov
and Tim Cook, Apple CEO. That's Shapovalov. The guy with the glasses, your boy. Do you smell what Tim is cooking? The CEO of Apple. Yes, that small mom and pop startup from the Northwest Coast. What is Kipper and Tim Cook speaking about in that moment, McAuliffe?
Have you talked?
What are they talking about?
I haven't seen Kipper. I haven't run into Kipper.
I tried to call Kipper. Here's my scoop for the day.
Right.
I don't have many, but I'll play Elliot Friedman.
Right.
You know, Tim, that's my Friedman impression. I called Kipper. He didn't want to talk to me.
Right.
So I texted him. I'm like, what gives? He's like, I got invited. I'm like, Rogers people invite you? Or he's like, Apple people invited me. I'm like, take a bite out of that.
Kipper's rolling in those circles?
No, that hookup.
I go to a Raptor game with you, and Kypreos is going with the president of Apple?
Now, to be fair, in the
he's tweeting about it.
We saw it with the Cavs game. We also were with the president of Huawei. To be fair about it, right?
Right.
No, that's not true. He wouldn't be seen with us either.
No, he wouldn't be seen with us at all.
But the Kypreos, like, is Kypreos talking about virtual reality, future apps? Like, what's going on with? Like, I'd show up with my Apple and iPhone 6 embarrassed talking to Tim.
Right.
Show up with a BlackBerry Bold.
And il parle français aussi.
He speaks French?
Yeah.
See, I know French.
Tweeting in French.
Good for you, Kipper. We'll try to get Kipper on this week. He was busy today.
I got to figure out what the hell was going on there.
These are strange bedfellows, man. But I know where to get the new iPhone. I'm just going to get a Kipper hookup.
Super jealous.